Welcome to Women of a Certain Stage, the podcast redefining how we think about menopause. I'm your host, Lauren Chiren, a passionate advocate for breaking the stigma and empowering individuals to navigate this transformational stage of life with confidence and clarity. Here, we're diving into a new era of menopause support, featuring expert advice, real-life stories, and actionable insights. Whether you're curious about building your personal menopause plan or you're looking to make an impact, you're in the right place. Let's embrace the change together. Sarah, I am so excited about having this opportunity to chat with you today. So first of all, I want to say thank you for making time to connect and for being here.
Thank you so much. Rather exciting, I have to say.
Mm-hmm. So have you done many podcasts before?
No, this is my first, so don't really know what to expect, but yeah, looking forward to it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I think I mentioned to you just before we started recording that I've just been talking to one of my other grads, and she came with a list and a bigger list and an even bigger list of all the things that she thought I was going to ask. And then she said at the end she didn't look at it once. I was like, that's great. That's great. So yeah, it's really just intended to be a conversation to share your journey, to let people know who you are and what drew you to becoming a menopause coach in the first place. So perhaps we could start off with just rewinding that back a little bit before we even connected and just asking what were you up to and what were you doing round about the time over the 6 months or a year before we connected?
Well, I'm in kind of a unique situation, I think, in the fact that the business that I had moved into, I will be subject to redundancy. So as part of that redundancy package, we all have this amazing opportunity for retraining. And we also have access to career coaching. And as part of that career coaching, I spoke with a coach and kind of exploring interests. And I happened to mention that I am really interested and very passionate about menopause and kind of helping and supporting women going through that. Mentioned that I listen to lots of podcasts. I've done lots of reading around the subject, and certainly my partner says, he always wakes up in the middle of the night and you're listening to another podcast. So I was saying, having this conversation with the careers coach, and she was saying, really, well, to give it gravitas, to give your interest gravitas, why don't you go out and look for, a specific program that'll give you some accreditation that you can then use in a work environment and give yourself, like I say, more gravitas within that field. Yeah. So yes, I looked at various different courses, and yours stood out to me, Lauren. So we had that conversation, and and then I went to register for this one. I'm really pleased that I did.
So Lauren, we had a conversation together, which just gave me a chance to, quiz you a little bit more about the course, actually, and then just to see whether it was what I was kind of expecting it to be, and to get out of it what I wanted. The rest is history. I did it, and I was really I've done it.
So, like you said, you're in quite a unique position, having that opportunity for work to support you to do this, and having been through redundancy a couple of times myself, it is, or it can be, either a really well handled and well managed situation where opportunities are opened up the way they are being with yourself, or it can be quite a uncertain time because dates move and dates change and you're asked to do certain things you weren't expecting to do, and you're in that kind of limbo space whereby it's all a little bit uncertain. So whilst you've been going through all of that, you've obviously been doing the day job, studying on the program. How have you managed to juggle everything? How have you kind of kept everything going and moving forward?
At times, I have to say, I have found it really quite difficult. I think the course is 2 hours kind of face-to-face sessions, but there is a lot more reading that you can do around the subject just to kind of stay abreast. The prep before the course really does help. That makes a big difference. And then, of course, the practice clients as well, which, to squeeze in at times, that has been hard. But I have to say, that really, really massively helped having the practice clients. And I really, really enjoyed that. And I'm really pleased that we that we did have to do those practice clients, because it kind of really brings it, makes it real, doesn't it? And actually challenges your thoughts. I think I had probably preconceptions as well. Sometimes I kind of questioned, am I really adding value to these people? But then, when you're going through the course with people and then hearing the feedback at the end, it was really positive.
Yeah.
So, I was really, really pleased with that. And it was great to hear, positive responses. So,
you say that, you had this interest in menopause, but what triggered that interest? What brought you to the topic of menopause?
I think I'm probably quite scientific. I mean, I've worked within the science industry for 30 years. The work that I do is quite analytical. So I want to know what's happening to myself. I want to know, what I can do to ease things, to make things better. And science, health, nutrition, that all really, movement, that really interests me. That really does float my boat anyway. I just found the whole thing fascinating. I don't think I really had, certainly going through this and listening to some of the symptoms and issues that some women have, which can be just horrendous, can be really, really difficult for, individuals to manage. I haven't massively had huge issues.
Yeah.
Certainly I have had issues, but, not certainly as bad as people can, but knowing what to do and to help those symptoms and to ease those myself has been brilliant.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, and in terms of, I always say when I'm speaking to people in that first call, it's not about me trying to sell the program to them. It's about answering the questions and figuring out, are we a good fit to work together? Is the program structured the right structure? Is it set up in a way that is the right way for you to learn as well? So in terms of having that access to like a global community and the experts that come and train on the program, how did you find all that sat for you?
I love that. I loved having different voices, different experiences, and really quite varied as well, aren't they? All the access. And of course, we had all the recordings as well, which is really useful because some of the sessions, there's a lot to take in, a lot to take on board, and you can, sit and write your notes during the sessions, but it's nice to then go back and pick other bits up again. So, certainly they were great. I think the front part of the session's quite heavy with those kind of learnings. And then you move into the coaching program, and of course you focus a lot on the coaching program. That was very new to me as well. I've never done coaching before. So that was a big learning curve, one that I did really enjoy. I have to say, there's quite a few challenges with that as well for me, with it being new. I suppose that listening without judgment, without trying to jump in and maybe try to solve people's perceived problems.
It's such a simple intellectual concept, and yet it goes against the grain of everything, of all our decades of life experience. And I think for me, when I first started training as a coach, it was like, how do I come to a session and completely empty my mind of any judgment and become in a place of wonder and curiosity? And it definitely took time to, well, I wouldn't say master it. I think I don't care how long you've coached. I think that it's a skill that we're always enhancing and always building on. So yeah, it's fascinating to hear you say that.
Yeah. I did find that hard. Yeah, and I don't know, keep on remembering, I suppose, the coachee has the answers, don't they?
Yeah.
Rather than us kind of, providing the answer, I suppose.
Yeah. So you came through the program, you graduated, you had your practice clients, and coaching was new to you, which I think all of us in some way, shape or form do coach in our relationships. I think that there's an element of how we interact with other human beings that we don't maybe know that we're doing it, but there is an element of it, I think, underpinning it. But then we put a label on it and we learn a little bit more about the skills side of it. Have you found that you use coaching in any other areas at all now, or is it just strictly on the menopause plan?
No, I in my day-to-day role, I suppose, at work, yes, I do feel as though it's probably helped me there. I have managed people before, but I'd like to think maybe I'm doing it slightly differently now, following the coaching program. Yeah. So I say, yeah, day to day. And I've got
Amazing.
teenage kids too, so you never know. I'd like to think maybe it helps there.
I occasionally have my son say to me, Mum, will you just stop coaching me and tell me what you want me to do? I'm like, okay, maybe I need to be laying this out more clearly. So yeah, it can work in some situations, I guess, not everyone. So you come through the program, you graduated, you've got plans on how you're going to use this going forward. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so my initial goal would be for me to run workplace sessions. So I'm quite newly graduated, so yeah, I haven't been graduated that long. So my plan is to run workplace awareness sessions on what menopause actually is, and then also that's for both men and women. And then also I want to do more practice clients. So I've got somebody lined up and I want to be taking that one forward quite soon. There's just been a few delays just with the work situation to kind of initiate that. But yeah, I'd like to think I've got that actually up and running. It's only
Yeah,
within the next 3 weeks, so quite
yeah,
soon.
amazing.
And going forward in my new workplace as well, when I do get another role, I want to continue this.
Yeah.
So that's certainly my intent.
So that's a big win then. So when you're looking for new roles, you don't know yet where you're going to go, do you?
I
No.
don't. But I really thought this would be another feather to my bow kind of
Yeah.
thing, in another
Yeah.
role, another workplace.
Yeah. And I think that's such a massive win for you to be able to take that forward at interview. It's a definite differentiator when you're going up against other candidates as well. So just tell me a little bit more about the type of work that you do at the moment.
So I work in a quality assurance, a validation role at a pharmaceutical company. So I've been working for that company, like I say, for 30 years. Most of that time has been within a validation QA role.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite engineering,
Yeah.
quality focused.
Yeah. So I'm really curious, right? So I come from a project management program director type role. So everything is I's dotted, T's crossed, everything is through governance, and it's very different from what you're doing, different industry. I was working in financial services. But when you think about your background and then you think about the program you've come through, if you were putting your QA lens on it, and feel free to be as honest as you wish, if you were putting the QA governance type lens over that program, how did you find that?
I mean, the course was very well kind of designed, practiced. It's been going for a long time, so I think it's been well honed process,
Yeah.
hasn't it? And certainly the comments that I've had as well when I've been going through the program is that it flows really well. So that's taking my coachees through the 7-week program. That it's quite a gentle step through, and you're kind of building that learning as you're going through.
Yeah.
So I like that, and also it culminates within the setting up a business as well. So yeah, I think it's been very well designed. It's been well thought through. It's at the appropriate pace. Yeah, I liked it. I liked
Yeah.
it, sure.
Yeah. I always ask the question because I think that, first of all, I'm always a big believer in continuous improvement. So any snippets of ways that we can improve it, I think can always be incorporated for future cohorts as well, which is important. But I also think that when you are working with someone who is more analytical, perhaps more scientific, and I'm delivering something that is quite the opposite, really. I mean, everything we do is based on research and science, right? So we've got everything's backed by research and
Yes.
science, but coaching itself, the actual ebb and flow of the human being, the human relationship is quite a world apart from 1 and 1 equals 2. You can present the same session to 2 different people and get completely different outcomes. So we never actually know what's going to happen when we take someone through a session. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Sorry, just on that, the bits I did like as well is that you do refer back to papers, where the facts and figures have come from. You can then go back to the scientific paper, so it's evidence-based.
Yeah.
And again, sorry, just on that as well, was I really enjoyed working with the people within my cohort. So I think you do learn lots, and from sharing each other's stories, how they're going to introduce and implement the course themselves. It gives you ideas. I know I'm not an ideas person. I can run with things, and I can, I'm a dog with a bone, I get things done. But I'm not an ideas person. So, kind of sharing those ideas with the group and having your practice sessions at each session, that was really valuable to me as well.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the magical parts of the community as well, is that we need every type of personality. We need all the different people to blend together to help each other out, because when we put all our skills together, that's when we're so much stronger and we get more done. And I love your cohort because there's strong cohort, first of all, but also it's a very international cohort as well. So that was a really good mixture, I think. But you were an all-female cohort from memory as well.
Yes, we were.
You didn't have any men. Yeah, that was quite interesting. So we don't have many men that come through the program, but we do have a few, and every now and then we have a cohort that is all women. So yeah, it's always interesting to see what the makeup's going to be. I never know until the time comes. So, and of all the experts that you met, who do you recall that particularly made an impression on you?
There's quite a few actually. There's a lady who is a breast cancer nurse. Michelle, yeah, she was great. There's a lady, Chris Williams, I remember. She was super. She was really engaging, very high energy, and she hooked you straight away, I think, just from just hooked you in, and you held on to everything that she was saying. There's a male doctor at the beginning who's
Dr. Vikram Talwalkar.
Yeah, Dr. Vikram. Now, he was really great as well.
Yeah.
So, they're the fantastic three that really stand out to me. I mean, there were lots, but those three, I think, they stand out to me hugely. Yeah.
So, and remind me, whereabouts in the world are you based?
I'm in the northeast.
You're in the northeast?
County Durham,
Yeah. I used to work up in Newcastle for a while, so not too far away.
Not far away. No, not far away at all.
Yeah. I remember many, many times with people trying to take me out on the coast in very, very skimpy clothes in the middle of the winter, and that being quite normal. And me always having my big Scottish coat on to stay warm. I could never quite understand how people could do it.
Hardcore, isn't it?
I was slightly further along the coast from you, but interesting part of the world. I had some very good times up there. Anyway, I digress. So, thinking about the future, thinking about you're in your new role, we've turned into 2026 and beyond. How do you see this panning out? You talked about your workplace sessions and some coaching. What sort of element do you see yourself doing this in the workplace for your employer going forward, or do you see yourself doing it outside, or combination? What's that look like for you?
I've changed my opinion on this a couple of times, and probably will do again. It'll keep changing. At the moment, I'm working full time, so I see it as just offering it within a workplace setting. My aim going forward would be to work part time. If I can go to 4 days a week, that would be, smashing. That's the dream. And then, I wouldn't mind even going down further again to say 3 days, a few years down the line again. But then I'd like to pick up private clients and, not do lots, but, a couple, keep it very small. Yeah. But, if I could have 2 clients on the go at once, that kind of thing, that would be fabulous.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, I haven't gone as far as, setting up websites or anything like that. There isn't a need for me at this particular stage, but, going forward, that's something that I could look at.
Amazing. I'm really excited for the people you're helping now and all the people you're going to help going forward as well. Is there anything I haven't asked you today that you would like to share with anyone that's listening, who's maybe in a full-time job and thinking about taking this on board?
We, as a cohort, like you say, it's been pretty tight actually. And continuing, we've had WhatsApp calls, and Teams calls once a month going forward. Now, some of the girls on the course, they're much further ahead, and this is their main occupation, So again, it's sharing those ideas, and it's just a fabulous resource to be able to tap into. It's something that we can always go back and kind of share ideas and gain learnings. Some people have got websites set up, some people are, all over Facebook and Instagram posts and contracts and all that. So I think just having those resources available as well is just a huge help. And it also keeps you focused. It also gives you that accountability as well to, keep pushing ahead with this.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons I offer that full year of support after the program, is so that we've still got those 4 touch points. You've still got access to the library, you've still got access to all your course materials, and then the encouragement is that you keep that community going via whatever it happens to be, through the portal or WhatsApp or all sorts of different cohorts have done it in different ways going forward. So I love that. And the fact for me is that I've been on so many courses where they finish and you haven't had the opportunity to really get to know each other in the course. You end up feeling quite out on your own and stuck. Whereas one of my goals on the course is actually to create that, or not create dependency, create that what's the word I'm looking for? We're independent, where you've got that independence of the program to be able to go out and deliver, and then that support group within the cohort as well. So yeah, I love that as well. Amazing.
Yeah, I think that helps, doesn't it? Just the fact that you've had that interaction with a number of different people during the course. We're in different groups, aren't we, each time that we have a breakout session, whatever. So you do get to meet pretty much everybody and have, those one-to-one sessions with everybody on the course. So
amazing.
That's really nice.
So I'm just going to wish you really well for everything that's coming up for you over the next, 6, 12, 18 months or so. Lots of new beginnings. And as ever, I'm in your corner and there to support you in every way that I can. Any final thoughts before we wrap up today?
I think we've picked up most things, actually. No, so that's great. I took lots away from the course myself, just small bits. I suppose some of it seems really quite straightforward, and I think maybe things that but I don't know, it gives you the focus to you practice the course yourself, of course. You put all of these things into play yourself, and these small changes can make huge differences. And certainly,
what was the biggest thing you took away from it?
For me, I would say sleep hygiene, diet, kind of things. And these are things that I thought I kind of knew, but being more careful about what I eat. I eat healthy, but I know that now by eliminating certain things, and then reintroducing certain foods that may well be healthy, but they can really irritate for me. So it's kind of identifying those. Alcohol actually can make me feel really anxious. I never ever picked that one up before. Certainly running through with my coaches, hydration being a huge one for people. It's amazing how little people drink, I think, it's and that can have a huge benefit just if people do drink more. And I think the decluttering program as well, actually,
I love that.
Was really quite emotive for lots of folks, lots of people. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, people assume decluttering means your wardrobe or your kitchen cupboards. They don't often think about the emotions and the relationships and all the stuff that goes on inside there. So
and that was a big one.
So if someone was reading your LinkedIn recommendation or listening to this podcast about the program and they were kind of on the fence, what would you say to them about considering doing the program?
Go for it. You'll learn lots. Absolutely. Don't underestimate the amount of time that it takes if you really want to get as much out of it as you can. Do invest that time because it is worth it for sure. And you'll meet some great people doing it as well. So it opens up opportunities, I think, be it within coaching or be it just more knowledge based around the menopause. So I'd say, 2 different aspects. Even if you don't want to go ahead with the menopause piece, actually the coaching practice and learning more about that is of huge benefit too.
Amazing. Sarah, thank you so much for your time today. I'm really grateful for you for taking the time and having a conversation, and I look forward to hearing what's next.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed this. Thanks.
Thank you for joining me on Women of a Certain Stage. I hope today's episode inspired you to think differently about menopause and the incredible opportunities this stage of life brings. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with 3 friends who need to hear this message. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps us reach even more people. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Lauren Chiren, or visit our website at womenofacertainstage.com to learn more about menopause coaching, inspiring events, and corporate training. Until next time, let's continue making a difference, one conversation at a time.